Welcome to a special edition of Art School Live. Art School Live is here every day at 12 noon, and usually we feature demos of artists. You're going to learn about some new demos of artists coming up with the artists that are our guests today. But today is a day for a special announcement, and I have some guests I'd like to introduce you to. First, I'd like to introduce Kathleen Hudson. Kathleen, welcome.
Thank you. Good to be here.
Nice to have you. And John Burton. John, welcome.
Thank you. Good to be here.
So the two of you really have led a charge to raise money for the artists in Lahaina. And what I'd like you to do is first, before we give the special announcement, I'd like to talk about, first off, how you guys decided to go this route, what was your thinking, and then where did you end up? Who wants to go first?
Sure.
You, Kathleen.
I can lead off. Yes, so when the fire hit Lahaina on August 8th, I was devastated, having spent time in Maui, knowing a lot of the artists who live there. I had several paintings in the gallery, one of the galleries that burned. And so I have a personal connection to the place. And I remembered, within the first few days that Larry Moore, an artist in South Carolina, had put together an art auction for the Gulf Coast of Florida right after Hurricane Michael hit. And it took off. He just publicized it on Facebook, I think, and they were able to get 300 paintings donated from artists, and they raised over $100,000 and made a big difference for the community. So I remember that. I got in touch with Larry. I talked with Heather Burton Santillanes, who lived in Lahaina for a while, and she's one of our co-founders for the Artists for Lahaina auction. And so we decided that we would try to launch something similar. We wanted to give people in West Maui our support. We wanted to help out so many of our artist friends there who had lost everything. And so we tried to put something together. It started pretty small. I just put up a Facebook page and invited people to submit work. And then I talked to John Burton, and John really helped us kick it up a notch and turn it into a much bigger effort. So yes, we launched a website. We were able to set up a submission form, and we ended up with 1,000 paintings from 800 artists from all over the world. So it is a huge movement. It's been really, really moving to see the response among artists. People love Maui. People really want to lend their support to the grieving families there.
So John, give us a little more context on your involvement.
So I'm first seeing the tragedy. I mean, it brought me to tears. I've gone to Hawaii and especially to Maui for decades. It was a place my family went when I was a kid. It's a place I brought my family as I've been older. To me, Lahaina is almost like a World Heritage Site on how it is it's such a special place to so many people, almost like a healing type of place. And when I saw it, it was just hard to watch. And especially when they didn't know the numbers at the start, but there was enough information of, the pictures saying this is going to be pretty bad, and have close friends that live there. And I've been part of Maui Plein Air, and people like Ronaldo Macedo, who have had me stay at his house right there in Lahaina. And it's just been a place very close to my heart. And it was tragic to see what was happening. So when I saw that, I had been part of a charitable event, charity auction about a decade ago. And I thought, man, what could I do? How could I do this? Would I be able to have time with my career to be able to do this? And then I saw Michael Obermeyer posted that he was involved with something. And then I saw Scott Pryor post something. And then Kathleen had written an email. And actually, I didn't know Kathleen or Heather before, and they had kind of started the movement. And I was so excited. I mean, when I called Kathleen, it was, Kathleen, I'm so thrilled you've got this started. Please let me be involved and whatever I can do to try to build this. And started the idea of let's dream big. This is a special place to a lot of people. How can we help the most? And I originally was, when I talked to Kathleen about it, had the idea that Hawaii, aloha means hello, but it also means love. And it means a lot of things, but love and hello. And so I remember talking early that Hawaii has shared its aloha with the world. People have come there and they've welcomed them and shared that. And I said, let's share, or let's bring some aloha back to them when these people are in need.
Well, that's fabulous.
Mhm.
So, first off, John, I want to congratulate you. John did the logo for the artist in Lahaina, and beautiful job on that, John. So let's talk, before we do the special announcement, let's talk a little bit about the auction. First off, you guys have got a huge number of artists. Do you have any idea how many artists are now participating in the auction?
Yes, there are over 800.
Over 800 artists.
Mm-hmm.
That's incredible. Okay, now we have, I don't have the names on these because we weren't able to do that. I don't know, but maybe you could just start naming some names of some of the artists. I
Yeah.
don't know if you're going to know the artists that are featured here, but you've
This
got
is
some
Jim
amazing
Morgan.
artists.
Yeah, Jim Morgan,
And
Eric
this is
Bowman,
Eric Bowman's piece.
Josh
And that one
Elliott,
is by, yes.
Kwang Ho,
Oh, you got big names.
Ray Roberts, Ned
That's
Mueller.
Ned Mueller.
Okay. We weren't able to get a lot of photos up here, but there is a website, and the website is, can you guys share what it is? Because, well,
Sure,
this shows kind of what the website looks like. There's a whole lot of artists. And you said there are 3 different galleries, is that right?
There are. So if you go to artistforlahaina.com, then all of those galleries are linked. That's the central location for the auction. We had to separate it up because with 1,000 paintings submitted, we couldn't really put that all on one page. So it's we had an embarrassment of riches in terms of what was donated for the cause.
Yeah, so I think that everybody needs to go and browse around and take a look at all the artwork. So how does the auction work?
Well, so bidding is live. You can now go on and bid. It opened up just 10 minutes ago. So you can go onto our website, which links these 3 auction galleries, and the auction platform is called Better World. It's a nonprofit-oriented online silent auction platform, and they don't take any cut financially from the proceeds. So we're able to give all the proceeds that aren't a credit card fee directly to a nonprofit. And we have partnered with the Maui Pono Foundation, which is a new foundation in Lahaina, founded by Lahaina families after the fire. And so they are doing direct relief. They've also told us that they're setting aside some designated funds so that we can set up a committee and we can actually create grant criteria and help out artists, make sure that artists can be a big part of the community's recovery. That was important to us. We want to do direct relief, and we also want to help nurture the arts, because Lahaina has welcomed artists for years. And what it's known for is its many art galleries, its amazing art community. And that's something that will be, it'll be hard for that community to make it through without a lot of resources in the community while they're rebuilding, and without the tourists coming through. So we want to help out and make sure.
Through this process, the 3 of us have heard from lots of people in the area, not only just in Lahaina, but in Maui itself, a lot of artists who have lost their income, and a lot of galleries who were destroyed have lost their income. And so it's our responsibility to step up and help them. And this is an opportunity for you. You might have the chance to own a painting from a great master or not, but to be able to support and buy something.
Right. And as you mentioned that, Eric, when we talk about the talk about the artists there, the amount of people that can't work is not only the fine artists. If you are part, let's say you're a hula dancer and you are part of a luau, the luau is not happening anymore. It could have burned down, or you just have nowhere to go. You could be a musician. You can't play at the hotels. So there's all forms of art. And as Kathleen mentioned, Lahaina, Hawaii, Maui has always been big on the arts. And if we just restore brick and mortar, we're not going to bring back the soul and the spirit of what is Lahaina and what is Maui. So, and that doesn't mean just helping art for that sake. It's helping people. It's actually helping people in the arts. And so we're going to be able to guide some of the funds to go to people in need in
So
that way.
there are questions. Are you still accepting entries from other artists?
We had submissions, we had to close public submissions as planned on August 25th because with 1,000, that was as much as we could handle. Unfortunately, we have a team of 4 working on this. It's the 2 of us plus Heather Burton plus Lisa Camilla Hale in Boulder. And she's been uploading most of the paintings to the auction site, and it's been around the clock. So
Well, it's a
been
huge
huge
undertaking. And by the way, I should
Mhm.
point out, everyone, that Kathleen just had twins about what, back in May?
Yes, they turned 4 months old this week. So
Yeah.
they are a handful in the best way.
A handful, plus you have 2 other kids, and you're managing an art career and a household, and now this. Congratulations.
Yeah. I'd love
It was
to.
a labor of love, that is for sure. You know, I saw what happened, and I knew that there were some pieces that I could help put together in terms of setting up the submission forms, the auction website, all of that. And so it was, in that sense, it was kind of a no-brainer because it took, you know, it's taking a lot to do now, but in terms of getting people motivated to give work, I didn't have to do a lot. I think people were motivated to help. They wanted to donate paintings.
Well, you have done an incredible job. John, do you
Kathleen,
want to?
oh, I just want to say, yeah, Kathleen's a legend. If I just have to say her ability to be a mom, to be an artist, to do it all. We're on the phone and we'll be talking and I'll say, oh, well, wow, your kids are your twins are quiet. No, they're both in my arms, or I'm carrying her, I'm doing the like, and and can I please point out also, Kathleen not only ran this, not only took care of newborns, but the paintings in the background are the ones she did for the show. And those she painted during this last few weeks just for the show. And Kathleen, if you wouldn't mind, could you move? Because I love that middle wave piece. I'm going to be bidding on that middle wave piece. So if anyone wants to compete with me on that,
I'll be competing with you.
yeah, I love them all, but the amount she's been able to take on in such a calm, peaceful, and everyone, Heather as well, Lisa, I'm so appreciative to everyone, but Kathleen's a legend.
Well, congrats. You're both legends, and so is Heather and everyone else who's involved in helping. This is, you know, it's really important that we put ourselves aside and put everybody else first in cases like this, and make sure that you know, these people need help. And, you know, you might see a charity auction here and there, you might see some kind of other event. And the idea is that we all need to, this is our community. This is a community of other artists. We need to support them and be there for them. We at my publications, Plein Air and Fine Art Connoisseur, we're doing some things to help out some people, you know, with some free ads and some things like that as well, because we want to really get in there and help these people survive, because we need them to survive. You know, I was talking last night with someone, and they were talking about how some of the communities that have been art communities, that are art-centric communities, like Jackson Hole, for instance, are starting to lose the galleries because they've become so successful. Tourism has become so high because of the art visitation that the rents are going up, and then they're driving the galleries out. And so we have to be there and support the arts in any way we can and support the artists. And Maui and Lahaina are really, really critical to keep that going. We also want to tell people, schedule a vacation. Even though Lahaina's gone, you can still go to Maui. You can still schedule a vacation. And the people there need people to show up, from my understanding, so that they can work, right? Because if the hotels are empty, these people aren't working. And there are other galleries around as well, from my understanding.
For sure.
That's true.
Okay, so we wanted to make a major announcement. And I think what we should do is talk about why we're making this major announcement. We got together. I heard from Kathleen and John and Heather and they started talking about what can we do to drive, what can we, meaning Fine Art Connoisseur, Plein Air Magazine, Streamline Publishing, what can we do to drive more interest in the auction? And then it just kind of exploded from there. Do either of you want to take that on?
Go ahead, Kathleen.
Sure. Yes. So, Eric, thank you very much for doing this. But Eric came alongside and devoted Streamline's abundant resources in terms of live event production to set up a STREAMATHON in support of the auction and in broader support of Lahaina. And that will be next Friday. So, and that will go on from 3 p.m. Eastern and then last about 3 hours. And we are thrilled about it because we will be able to feature people who are in Lahaina. We will be able to bring you songs from musicians who are in Maui. We have contacts on the ground who are pre-recording some interviews, pre-recording audio testimonies. So you'll be able to hear directly from people who are there who are impacted. And I think that's really important in terms of motivating all of us to come alongside them and help them in the years ahead. So I'm really thankful that this is going to take place. You'll also be able to hear from artists who have donated work. So we'll have some guests like Matt Smith, Lori Putnam, Amy Erickson, Larry Moore. We've got a big lineup. There are a whole bunch of artists who are at the Buffalo Bill show in Cody. And so Heather has lined them up to talk and do a panel interview and then do individual stories. So you'll hear from some artists that you are familiar with already, and all of this in support of Lahaina. So it's really moving to see this come together, and I really appreciate Streamline coming alongside.
Well, we had to do it. It was the right thing to do. And so our contribution is we've put our tech team on it to put the entire streaming event together. And yet you guys are putting all the content together, and you have artists. We have some people who've talked about, well, maybe I'll do some studio visits to show my studio, or, we have a variety of different things going to go on. We talked originally about making the Streamathon go on for like 12 hours, and we probably could have filled it up, but we thought, everybody's busy. 3 hours is a lot. And we want to make sure that everybody gets a chance to tune in. And we're also going to be able to make it an opportunity on this event to be able to do donations. And again, none of us get anything out of it. All the money, 100% of the money, other than credit card fees, from my understanding, is going to go to this charity. And there will be an opportunity to give money as well. So if you decide you want to give, maybe you can't buy a painting or you get outbid on a painting, if you can give 10 or 20 bucks, or if you have the ability to give $1,000 or $1 million, whatever you can give is going to be helpful, because we want everybody to have a little skin in the game, because, there has been a legacy of painting and plein air painting in Maui. There's an annual Maui plein air event, which of course now is going to all be up in the air. So, and hundreds of artists that we all know have participated in that event. I've been invited. There are a lot of judges who have been, Joel Stern and others, Lori Putnam. So I think that anything that we can all do together to help this effort is going to be make a major difference. Now, how's the money going to be distributed? Do you have any sense of any of that? I think that would be good to touch on a little bit more.
For sure. So the auction site the platform is called Better World. Like I said earlier, it is a nonprofit oriented silent auction site, and they link via Stripe, which is an online payment processing system, directly with the organization. So we don't touch any of the funds at all. It goes directly from the auction site to the nonprofit. And the nonprofit right now, it's called Maui Pono Foundation. Right now, because they are still waiting on their 501c3 status from the IRS, since they're a new foundation, they have what's called a fiscal sponsor. So they they found a nonprofit in Arizona that is willing, that was really excited about their mission and wanted to help out. And so they are handling all of the administrative side, and they are only taking 1.5%, which is less than credit card fees, for their administrative costs. And so that doesn't really even cover their costs. So they're giving their time as well. So that will enable nearly all of the funds to reach Maui. We're giving all of it right to Maui, and it's going to go through grant application processes that are set up by Maui Kona Foundation. And then, for our designated art funds, there will be a grant process that we set up a committee for, and we've already got people on the committee. So we will be able to know exactly where the grant money is going, and we will be able to report back to people. So yeah, this isn't something where it's going to pass through a lot of big organizations with a lot of overhead. It's going right to Maui, and we'll be able to share stories after the fact with people about what the funds are doing.
Yeah, we probably, just in terms of our employee time and the technology and so on, we're probably donating the equivalent of $100,000 in-kind donation to this, that we're not able to. We don't even want to take any tax credit or anything else from it, but we want to help. Now, I want to tell you guys also that for this Streamathon, we have a number of huge sponsors who are involved in this, and they're going to be spreading the word and helping, including the Kathleen or John. Why don't you touch on who these sponsors are and give them a little love?
Yeah. Would you mind if I do that, Kathleen?
Go for it.
So when we first started, thinking that the amount of help that Maui was needing and the amount of people that love the place and may want to be involved, we decided to do something different. I've never seen this amount of donations in terms of paintings, and this many people who on one phone call said, yes, I'm in. So American Impressionist Society, I'll read these off: American Watercolor, California Art Club, Inside Art, Laguna Plein Air Painters, OPA, Oil Painters America, Paint Tube, Plein Air Painters of America, Realism Today, Plein Air Magazine, and Tucson Art Academy. All of these was one phone call, and they were, what can we do? How can we help? And then getting them involved, getting their membership behind, getting their mailing list because when you have a art auction, half of it is getting the paintings. The other half is you need to sell them or it doesn't do any good. And I want to backtrack just 1 minute just to mention Eric and how kind Eric has been. I think when I talked to Kathleen, I upped the ante maybe a little bit of setting the goals even a little bit higher. And then Eric just shot it out of the stratosphere of, okay, let's do this and let's put the full weight of Streamline Publishing behind it. And I can't say a big enough thank you. When we contacted Eric doesn't know this, but we contacted just to see if we could be on a podcast. That was how big we were thinking. And we really appreciate what you're doing and the way you're helping to try to bring people to the site and bring awareness. So really, really appreciate it, Eric. Thank you.
Oh, well, it's our pleasure, John. This is not a time when we need any recognition. We just want to help other people. We should mention that one of the things that's going to be happening this next week is that we have 3 Art School Live broadcasts that are devoted to artists who are going to be doing some demos, but also to bring awareness to this event. On Monday at noon, Kathleen is going to do a Maui painting, and she hasn't decided exactly what she's going to do, but that'll be on the show Monday at noon. On Wednesday, Heather Burton Santianes is going to be doing a painting. And then on Thursday, John Burton is going to be doing a digital painting, and it's going to be fabulous. All of it will be. And then Friday is the event, and the event will be, I'll have a normal Art School Live on Friday at noon, but the event will be Friday at 3 p.m. Eastern time. And we set that time so that we weren't too early in California. Of course, it's very early in Maui. But we had to find a time that we thought maybe people could be, if you're at work, maybe you can just kind of pay attention for the last hour of work or so, and then, you can watch at home. But we want to get everybody involved. And what we're asking is, first off, if you have interest in being involved in this in any way, the way you can be involved is to spread the word about this. And so you could take a screenshot of this and pass it on to other people, or we can figure out how to put it out on our social media so that you can pass it along. But if you tell people, everybody goes into their social media and says, I'm going to Art Streamathon to help Artists for Lahaina on Friday, September 22nd at 3 p.m. Eastern. And then, if you want to show the various times that people are, where it's taking place in different time zones, you can do that. But the idea is that you can play a role by playing a part. The other thing is, if you have an organization, you have a gallery. I just saw somebody in here, Elaine Miller, said, well, Series Gallery would love to do something. Well, what you can do is you can send something to your email list and tell people to watch. And if people want to get involved, and if you've got a large enough organization, we can get you on this. We have invited all of our competitors to participate. So if you are watching from another art magazine or another art organization, please get in touch with me or Kathleen or John. Our Instagrams are on our photos, and you can direct message us there. And we would love to get you involved. All we ask is that you notify your audiences about this big event. See, this is a time when we put all competitive things aside. First off, we love our competitors anyway, but this is the time when we work together to raise money for a good cause. These people need our help. Any final thoughts?
I take just a moment. I was looking through the gallery this morning, and since we couldn't show many images, if you don't mind, I'd love to read just some of the artists that I know people will know. I'm going to read this off very quickly. Kwang Ho, Matt Smith. These are all people who've donated. Mian Satu, Bill Anton, Jesse Powell, Brian Mark Taylor, Gabor Svagrick, David Dibble, Mike Hernandez, Josh Clare, Kathleen Dunphy, Larry Moore, Amy Erickson, Joseph McGurl, Peter Adams. I mean, the list is so gigantic. And I'm not going to read them all right now, but that's just a few that are just mind-blowing. When you get in and you get to see this site, we're putting together one of the best shows the country has seen, with some of the most talented artists. And I'm not saying that for us, meaning there's any credit. I mean, it's because so many people have cared and so many people have donated. So please come take a look at the site. And I think you'll be really impressed, and buy some art and support Lahaina.
And one of the other things that you can do is you can take this announcement program, and if you hit the like button or or a heart or something, it might help other people see it. But also, if you have a way you can share it, that will be good. The replays of this will help drive the event, which is a week from today. Also, I want to mention that we have arranged to give away thousands of dollars worth of prizes that will be done during the event, because we want you to have a little incentive to attend. So you'll be able to win a lot of different prizes from a lot of the different things that we're gathering from some of our sponsors, because we just feel like we want to reward some of you for being there and giving your time. So go on to your calendars and block out 3 p.m. Eastern time on Friday. And go to, right now, what we would like you to do is to go to the website to artstreamathon.com. If you go there and put your email in and fill out, then and if you click the little notification button so that you get texts, then you'll get notified and reminded, just in case you forget, that that you want to come to this thing. And that will make a huge difference. The Streamathon is going to be hosted by the three of us plus Heather Burton Santianas. And so we're going to keep it going. We're going to keep it lively and interesting. We've got a lot of cool things happening, and we think it's going to be a lot of fun. And it will be kind of a focal point for all of us, getting all the artists in our community together and sharing a lot of great information. So, and we've got a lot of things that we're working on that we can't talk about yet because we haven't figured them out ourselves, but it's going to be really wonderful. And we hope that you'll be there.
Yeah, and to mention, I think this has already been said, it will be a live event. So it's going to be
Mhm.
exciting to see who's on, who's coming on. The next people will be going all over the country, all over, to Hawaii and all over the country, visiting people. And they'll be sharing things and sharing stories, and especially sharing some stories from Maui that we will not be able to see unless you're part of this event.
Yeah,
That's right.
absolutely. And the stories are mind-boggling. It's just like you said, John, you teared up when you saw this.
Yeah.
I did the same thing. And just to see how horribly disrupted this community and the losses that people have suffered, both personal losses and losses of their property. And then to see the arts community, this is a thriving arts community. And by the way, this could have happened to any one of us in any of our communities. And so maybe others will be there for us when we need them, but we need to be there for them. So let's encourage you all. I'm going to put up again the website information. So artists for Lahaina.com.
Mhm.
And that's where you go for the auction. And so write
Yes.
that down or take a
If you
screenshot.
register to bid today, by the end of the day, you can win a painting too. So we've got a painting giveaway. I'll show that to you in a second. But yes, if you register to bid by tonight, then you'll be entered in a random drawing to receive a free painting in the mail.
So they don't have to do anything other than register. They
Nope,
don't have
just
to
register to
bid.
bid, and you could win this one.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Incredible.
So it's a 9x12, but yes, that's going to be picked at random from among the people who have registered to bid so far, and we've got about 2,000. So it's not, the odds are maybe not in everyone's favor, but it's a large group of people registering to bid, but there will be a chance of a painting. So and of course, if you register to bid, then you will have a chance at 1,000 paintings in the next week. So
You're a smart marketer. I guess that Harvard education paid off. Well, that's the incentive we need, is that people need to know that you just go there and register. What time is the cutoff on that?
I haven't actually set one yet, but it'll be end of day today, and I'll make that Hawaii time, so it'll be late.
Okay. So midnight tonight, Hawaii time. So if you haven't registered, get in there and register. You have a chance to win a painting. That's really generous of you, Kathleen. And you've also put out how many paintings in the auction?
So the paintings that I have in the auction, there are two, and they're both right behind me. So this one is a wave painting that I just did from a reference photo. This one over here, they're both 20x20. This one is a recreation of a plein air piece I did during the Maui plein air event in 2019.
Oh,
so I painted this on the North Shore of Maui, a little bit north of Lahaina, and that painting had a little bit of a story because I remember I spent all day on it, and then my husband was actually at Maui plein air with me. This is the only plein air event that he has attended, because usually it's dawn till dusk. It's not a great place to take a spouse, but he did go with me to Maui plein air. And I went to pick him up because he did a freediving course, and I had this wet painting in the back, and he tossed his jacket in the back of the car as we were driving down the bypass going, heading towards Lahaina. And yes, so I ended up with a wave that kind of extended up into the top of the painting. So I had to spend a little bit of time fixing that at our host house in Lahaina before the event.
All right, I
and
want to
that's
know.
one that I left behind in Maui. So it was actually at the Village Galleries, which burned. So that was one of a whole lot of paintings that was lost in the auction. I only lost 4, but there were Maui artists who lost dozens and dozens. I mean, their entire inventory. So yeah, it was moving to be able to recreate this piece. And I've really been moved hearing about other Maui artists who are going back and getting out their painting as a way of processing their grief. So we'll be featuring some of their work during the Streamathon so that you can see what they're painting and how they're thinking about the the path ahead for them, how they're thinking about helping their communities.
Well, I think this is fabulous, and I want to just encourage everybody. I don't want to beat this drum too hard, but go and sign up for this Streamathon and tell everybody you know to sign up for it, because we really need to help these people and these galleries and artists. So artstreamathon.com. And if you sign up before midnight Maui time, you have a chance to win a painting, and you don't even have to bid on anything. Now, there will be an opportunity if you attend the Streamathon. There will be an opportunity to donate some money to, even if you don't decide to buy a painting. And here's what I'm going to suggest. A lot of us are addicted to our $5 cup of coffee. If you just say, you know what, for the next week, I'm going to skip my $5 cup of coffee, and I'm going to take that $25 or $30 and donate it, you'll be doing some good, and it's money you would have spent anyway. And we'll have a place on the Streamathon that you can donate continuously if you decide you want to. I again want to just say thank you to all of these sponsors. They're very generous for being there, and hopefully we'll bring some more sponsors in. Again, if you want to sponsor, if you want to contact us, or if nothing else, if you'll just email everybody you know, if you have an email list, if you're an artist, if you have an email list, and put it out on your social media, put it out on everything, and we will post on our social media the icons for these things, and so that you have a chance to pick them up and pass them along. But it will make a difference. We think big. Kathleen and John think really, really big, and the goal is high. And if we get a few thousand people watching, and if every one of those people even gives $10, and if each one of those people bids on a painting, we're going to raise a lot of money for people. And these artists have generously given paintings that they could have sold for thousands of dollars. And there's all levels of artists. There's no snobbery involved. And so we had a cutoff date, so you could have submitted for the cutoff date, but there's top masters, and there's everything under that. And so what a great chance to own some paintings. And there's nothing like an original painting hanging in your house.
So true.
All right. Any final thoughts, folks?
Nope. Just appreciate you, Eric and Kathleen, and looking forward to next week. And
Absolutely.
everyone else, I look forward to you all getting involved next week with us. So thank you to everybody.
Well, thank you, John and Kathleen. And again, special thanks to Heather Burton, Santianas, and everyone else involved. And please mark your calendar. Please go there and sign up, and make sure you hit the little button that allows you to get a text for notification. And that way you're reminded in case you get busy. And please make sure to push it out on social media and your email. You two deserve an extra harp when you get to heaven. You're really wonderful people. And thank you so much for your time and the energy that you've put into this. I know that my people have been having meetings with you on and off all week for the last 10 days, and you're really putting a lot of time into it. So thank you both.
Thank you. Appreciate you. Thank you, Eric.
All right.
Thank you.
Well, I want to thank my assistant also, Allie Cruikshank, who's been producing this and has put a lot into this as well. And I want to thank you for tuning in. Now, we will have, on Monday, we'll have Kathleen doing a demo at 12 noon on Art School Live. And you can find that demo if you go to YouTube and you just search Art School Live or search my name, Eric Rhodes. You can subscribe to it. That way you'll make sure that you get it. And then Heather will be doing one on Wednesday, and John will be doing one on Thursday. And then the event will be on Friday. So we're going to use Art School Live to drive some attention to this thing. And we'll also try to figure out, I think what we'll do, John and Kathleen, we'll take the audio from this, and we'll take this video, we'll put it up on the YouTube channel, but we'll also take the audio and we'll put it up as a plein air podcast so that we can get that out in the next couple of days so that millions more people will get exposed.
Fantastic. Thank you.
Wonderful.
All right. Well, thank you both, and thank you, everyone. God bless you, and we will see you next Friday. I'm just going to leave, and we're going to leave this up on the screen. First off, well, this one is the gallery, artist for Lahaina.com. And then here is the time zones and the art streamathon. So we're just going to leave that here and leave it up for a minute or so. And then thank you all for being here. Bye-bye.